cause celebre, you know that something's amiss. You know that Ferguson is being used to delegitimize and dilute opposition to the genuine problem of police brutality. And that's the truth about Ferguson. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Paul Joseph Watson reporting for INFOWARS.com.
A pretty powerful report. It's got a lot of stuff in there I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with, but I think a lot of people are going to agree with it. And some other parts, especially the end where he talks about police brutality and that this is sort of dividing people into not caring about police brutality. So thank you for joining us. We are now 2 hours and 15 minutes into our live broadcast here in the Central Texas Command Center. I'm your host, Rob Dew. And earlier we had David Knight. We've got Joe Biggs and Jakari Jackson out in the field. Leanne McAdoo's back in the control room. And basically we've had the grand jury verdict. It's no indictment. We kind of expected that for a variety of reasons. And now it looks like Joe's back with us. So we're going to go to him in a second to see what the general mood is out on the street. But yeah, people are from right when he said right when the announcement was made, you could hear people yelling, bottles were being thrown. He got a sense that some stuff was about to kick off. People ran to the police station. The police came out and were standing behind a barricade. Joe, can you hear me now? Are you still there?
Roger that.
Yeah. So what's going on now?
Everybody's pushed up against these barricades. There's some people talking in the crowd, screaming back and forth. The police are out here, as you can see, in their full gear with the shields, face shields on. Maybe 35, 40 officers now that I can see from this angle. There's a squad car pulled up that they'll use more than likely as a bullhorn. There's another large group of police officers down around the side under the season's greetings. So for everyone watching right now, happy holidays from Ferguson.
Yeah.
It's a ye old time.
It's not going to be a good Thanksgiving there. The people there are definitely mad. And I think they have reason to be mad, not just for this one particular case. I think in general, they're mad because, one, he was left, Michael Brown was left on the ground for 4 hours, and that's one of the main parts of their protest is to block intersections for 4 minutes because they are, they don't like the way they're being treated. They feel this police officer, these officers here, it's disproportionate to the community.
Here are some of the contract-looking guys.
See? Yeah.
They do not.
So it looks like we have some contract guy. Do you see any earpieces?
I'm looking. I saw the guy in the black jacket in front of me earlier in Clayton.
Yeah, we know there's going to be plainclothes cops in there, and they're looking for the agent provocateur troublemakers, or maybe even these guys could be agent provocateurs. If these guys start throwing bottles or pushing people, then they're out there to cause this so the cops could come in with a heavier presence. But right now it looks like both sides seem to be showing great restraint, which is did you think it was going to be like this when the verdict came out? I mean, it doesn't look like people are fighting with each other. It doesn't look like there's a lot going on other than the broken window you reported earlier.
That's how it was in August too, but then one person throws something and then towards the police, and then that's when everything hits the fan.
Yeah. Now,
it's mistake. Do what?
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And I was going to say, it should say peaceful up until the point where you do get one of those provocateurs that decide to throw something, and then it's just going to be not good.
I bet those guys don't like being on camera, the guys in front of you.
Yeah, he covered his face up.
Yeah. Wow. It's a pretty incredible scene, though. It's not, people did not immediately go crazy. It looked like they're still there and they're still angry. That's Jakari Jackson's feed right there, which of course, now we seem to be having trouble with our expensive streaming equipment, which only seems to work when there's 2 cell phones in the area. You get 3 cell phones in the area, it clouds up the network. There's a shot of Jakari Jackson right there. And
say hello, Jakari.
Stay warm. And so does he have the...
I hear you guys, but if you guys are just now joining us, I'm on the Alex Jones live stream on Ustream, so you guys can watch this simulcast on Ustream. This is the raw feed. What you guys are seeing is the INFOWARS nightly news. If you want to see the live stream, the raw, you can go to the Alex Jones Live. I'm paying very close attention to what the officers are doing over here to my right. There's also, you guys probably didn't see, but if you look on my live stream, the last one I had on that corner right up there, Joe Biggs, there was a spotter on that corner. I'm sure you guys can't see him with the iPhone. I'm sure he's still up there. But he was looking down with his binoculars into the crowd. Many people out here. A few people left immediately after the Darren Wilson verdict, but there are people that remain. So we have a good amount of riot police in the area. And, yeah. So that's the situation right now. Everybody's been pretty peaceful. Immediately after the verdict was announced, there was a guy who threw a bottle at the firehouse over here. So there's a lot of things going on.
What's your number of people out there now? How many people do you think are out there, protesters and police?
All right, so, yeah, everybody's pointing out the helicopters, all the other things going on. Once again, I'm streaming onto this camera as well. 500 people? Okay.
Yeah. I would say there's maybe 500-600 people standing out here in the streets, and then you've got 35-40 officers now. I know they have way more than that because there's at least 100 vehicles in the back parked.
Yeah, and you guys were showing this from earlier reports from your Ustreams where there'd be 20 or so police officers out front, and then all of a sudden they would get reinforced by a larger contingent, or they would go back and get replaced by another group. These guys are working on shifts, and they are getting paid with taxpayer money right now. So this is all being, one way or another, the New World Order is, paying people to be out there and control.
Well, they're all inside right now. The fire department, they just peeked their head out, and people started cursing at the door. So they're all sitting in there right now watching. I know they have a lot of their computer screens up watching all of our live feeds. A police officer the other day recognized me from watching the feed and said, "Oh, I watch you." I was like, oh.
I'm watching you, Joe Biggs, literally. Yeah, that's what they do. Are there any other spots that you think might kick off tonight with any other protests?
I'm sure there could be stuff on West Florissant in the area. From back in August, it's become quite a famous area. Possibly the Clayton area as well. That might not be till tomorrow, though. A lot of these people are going to go back and... Oh, hold on.
What are they saying right now?
The police just came over the thing. They said anybody in the road is now part of unlawful assembly. Oh, there's gunshots.
What?
People are shooting. People shooting in the parking lot right now. Everyone's
All right,
running. There's gunshots everywhere.
All right, well, you guys stay low. All right, guys, we've had gunshots reported on Florissant Street right in front of the police headquarters.
Everyone's screaming and running. I heard about 3 or 4 shots.
We are right on the front lines of the info war now. We got Jakari Jackson and Joe Biggs. It doesn't look like everybody's scattered. It still looks like there's a big group of people, but we did just see a bunch run.
Yeah, most of the people from the road did. Right after the police officer came over the radio, he told everyone to disperse because it was unlawful assembly. Then you heard the gunshots.
Did it sound like it was a shot coming from the protest area or from the police area?
The parking lot across the road where we've been streaming at the past few days.
Our undercover friends, they still look like they're standing down undercover?
They're staying. Oh, someone just threw a bottle in towards the police area. I just saw that. It just flew over. It just went right over towards the squad car. That was crazy.
But we're getting it live as it happens, folks. We're now 2 hours into this almost, and we still haven't taken a break. We might take a break here in a little bit. We have a couple special reports. Leanne McAdoo did one today talking about what's going on with the drug culture and the gangster rap culture and how they're intertwined with the prison industrial complex and how they're intertwined with big media and how a lot of the media companies are also invested in the prison industrial complex. So they need to get more people into that system. And what's one way to do that is to glorify drug dealing and violence to young kids to get them into that lifestyle, which then puts them into the prison. The gangster rap to prison pipeline, as Rick Ross stated. And she's got a report on that coming up. Interestingly enough, guys, I have on my sheet there a link. I just want to bring this up real quick. There's a channel called I can't even see the name of it. It's Underground World. It's WSHH. What is that? World? Does anybody know what website that is? Like World Star Hip Hop. Yeah, they posted our Rick Ross piece that we put together.
Over the fence into the police officer side right now.
All right. Well, it looks like it's kicking off again. Why don't y'all put me back on split screen and go back to Joe? So you're seeing more bottles being thrown at the police?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything break, so more than likely it's just going to be a regular water.
Plastic water bottles. Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone's kind of moving around quickly, trying to find out what's going on.
It's like a tense standoff going on at this point. But we don't see the tanks. We don't see any tear gas at this point, which is good. I think the cops are doing the right thing by showing restraint.
Well, don't jinx us.
Yeah. Well, at least you have gas masks this time.
It looks like a bunch of the police officers are falling back for some reason and going back further. I don't know what's going to happen now. There's still a line being held, but quite a bit just went into the back parking lot area and left. I don't know where they're going. You guys there?
Yeah. Well, I'm watching right now in amazement that we're able to, essentially see. We have our eyes on the ground. This is Joe Biggs' Skype feed, which Skype seems to be working really well now. Our Ustream is kind of going in and out. But if you want to go see those feeds live, you can go to ustream.tv. And he's on Alex Jones Live. Is that correct right now? Is that where Jakari's at?
Roger that. That's where he is.
Okay. And then later on, you're going to be going to Real Alex Jones, ustream.tv/Real Alex Jones. It's really interesting. I've been watching the feeds, especially when you guys go at the same time. And I'll just turn up the volume on either one and listen and watch what's going on. They've been following these protests since they got there last Friday. So, God, you guys have been there a week and a weekend, and now you're going into the next week. And you guys are doing a great job out there. I know it's been hard. I know it's been cold. But do you think it's been worth it being out there showing people what's going on?
Well, of course. I mean, we all know how the mainstream media flips stuff and, essentially lies about a lot of the things that are going on. So I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that they can get some unbiased coverage on something and just basically let this live feed speak for itself. That way no one's really hammering down an opinion down your throat. You can just watch this live and pretty much come to a conclusion, yourself.
Yeah.
Right now the helicopter spotlighting the crowd. You can see.
Is this the Cop Watch feed we're on right now? Or is this one of ours?
I'm showing the helicopter.
Yeah, we're going to different feeds. I think the guys in the control room are just finding every feed out there, and they keep throwing to them.
This is Aaron Copwatch Ferguson.
Aaron Copwatch Ferguson. Okay.
There was a Copwatch streamer arrested earlier today in Clayton. They targeted him and already just been looking for the guy.
Really?
As soon as they saw him show up, they grabbed him.
Well, and we saw you guys documented one earlier. And we have that B-roll from it was 2 days ago, I guess, right in front of the police station there. The guy was standing on the sidewalk, and then all of a sudden he's being arrested, and he was throwing out the name of the news agency he works for.
Yeah, News to Share out of
News to Share, yeah.
NEWS2 with the number 2 share.
Now, have you seen that guy out there?
I haven't seen him today, but there's way more people out here tonight, versus what there has been the past week and a half. But yeah, his name was Tyler Yinkst, I believe, and I was actually speaking to his organization until about 3 in the morning after that arrest because we had captured the footage of that, so that helped him out a lot to get out of custody.
So they let him out that night?
Yeah, around 2:30, 3 in the morning.
All right, there's another Ustream broadcaster going off. And so why are our Ustream feeds not looking this good? I don't understand. This guy is looking pretty. There's Aaron at Cop Watch.
They might have T-Mobile service because that is the #1 service here. Our phones have Verizon, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the worst coverages here.
So, Joe, are you still back at the police station? I guess we're on your feed right now.
I'm directly in between the police station and the fire department.
Okay.
You can see.
And it looks like there's a standoff, but it doesn't